take something in a different context, it's like people forget the lessons they learned from one context. For some reason, we need to be taken by the hand and shown this is what it can look like in a leadership role in the workplace. Or so would you share just a few words about that?
I think the first thing is to go into it with a particular mindset, just like the negotiation is a certain mindset. And the mindset as a leader is really, how can I be of service? And not just of service to others, but also of service to myself. And that is not to be confused with selfishness in any way. But how can I be of service? How can I make this how can I leave this situation better than I found it? How can I leave this interaction better than I found it? How can I enable that person to see the beauty in themselves? And that sounds like, well, there's no place for that in business, but there is, because boy, it makes a difference. When a leader does that with a team and believes in the people that they're leading, amazing things happen. And it starts with listening, right? To truly listen. When someone says to you, you know what, you're asking me to double earnings in the next X number of years, and that is not possible. Not under these conditions. We might look at other conditions that might make that possible, but under these conditions, it's not possible. So rather than shutting them down and saying, well, your job is to figure it out, what would happen if we truly listened and said, well, why do you think it's not possible? Because clearly we're seeing something different. So why don't you see that? Help me to see what you see and let me share with you what I see. So that you're looking at a situation as a way of problem solving, rather than you do what I say, right? Which has been, in some cases, traditional leadership. That never works. That's not sustainable. We're interested in sustainability, right? So it starts with listening, to be able to listen to people, but to listen to them with an open heart too. What are they saying and what are they not saying? And to be open in that way, to deal with people in a compassionate way. And again, some might say, well, there's no place for compassion in business. And I say, really? There is only place for compassion in business. Because what does that mean? It just means, can you walk in someone else's shoes? What does it feel like to walk in someone else's shoes? That's compassion.